You don't lose the sale because of a lack of effort. You lose the sale because of a lack of timing. Now, granted, the effort was mistimed and that's why you missed the window. But think about the customer that texts you back, but you miss it because you're so buried in email, or the service advisor that has a chance for the upsell, but they're free to speak up in the moment and then the window closes. So often, it's not that our team needs better talent, it's that our team needs better timing. And here's the hard truth. Windows don't stay open forever. And if you don't seize them, they slip. And once they're gone, they're gone. So much of our training, our energy, and effort is spent trying to help our teams get better, develop more skills. Well, what they really need is more timing. They already have enough skill. They need to overcome the fear, the concern, the challenges to seize the moment, to take action right now and make it happen. You've heard saying carpe diem, which is seize the day. I would look at carpe punctum, seize the moment, win the moments, and you win the month. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire. 5 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today we're going to dive into mastering the skill of timing, because so much time, energy, and effort is spent training our teams to have more skill. And what they really need is a better sense of timing, the ability to seize the moment and take action right now. Because if all your focus is on skill and not development, and not on timing development, then what you end up with is more talented underachievers. And that's what we want to avoid. So many leaders that I coach and I work with think time is their enemy. It's not. The real enemy is missed moments. It's not like there's this need for more time management or more time in the day. What you need and what your team needs is the ability to own and seize and win more moments. Now, the science behind this is incredible. That all the research, all the data shows that when you pre-decide when and where you're going to act, you're 3 times more effective. Think about that. A 300% increase in your ability to set appointments, in your ability to close deals, in your ability to hold gross. Pick anywhere you want. But when you pre-decide when and where you're going to act, it 3X's your execution. This is the golden rule of execution. And so what I'm going to ask you to look at, this is not a motivational speech. This isn't some rah-rah to get your team picked up. This is the science of behavioral execution. Think about your sales floor. If you have salespeople saying, I'm going to follow up more because I really want to do better. We need to sell more cars, make more gross. That's incredibly vague. But if your response is, if it's 9 o'clock, then I'm going to call all of yesterday's customers, guests, and up before I have my first coffee. That's a very specific if-then trigger. That's what this behavioral research says, that if you set an if-then trigger, you're going to pre-decide when and how you're going to act. If it's 9 o'clock, then I'm following up with yesterday's leads before I drink my first coffee. Can you see the power of an if-then trigger? You're basically going to say, here are the things that I know help me succeed. Now I'm going to set it up so that there's an automatic prompt to act immediately. Here's why this matters for you so much as an elite leader, because windows don't announce themselves. Your people don't raise their hand and say, hey boss, now's the moment. Your job as a leader is to create triggers for you and your team so that they act without hesitation the moment the window opens. Because without triggers that you set to create automatic action, you're relying on mood, memory, and chance. And that is not a strategy. That is a recipe for frustration. So let's take a look at some if-then triggers, where all we're going to do is specifically design the behavior we want to happen automatically, because we know this is critical to success. If it's 9 a.m., then I'm going to call 3 unsold customers. If it's to the test drive and I haven't introduced my manager yet, I'm going to introduce my manager before we get out on the road. If I find myself frustrated with the sales consultant, then I'm going to stop and do that 3-breath technique that we talked about earlier on a few weeks ago. That you're basically looking at situations that repeatedly come up over and over and over again, that you know affect your ability to execute and sell more cars for a higher variable margin with an elevated customer experience. And you're going to start designing into those, what specifically can I do? If this happens, then I'm going to behave this way. Or we're going to design specific triggers. Basically, you preload the decision so the window doesn't slip. So let's go ahead and cross the insight to action bridge. Now, I'm going to make this simple. If we were working and I was working with your dealership in depth, we would look at each area of your business, each set of processes that were critical, and we'd go through sales, parts, service, every part of your business and start defining what are the key behaviors, and then we'd set up if-then triggers for each one of those. since we don't have that kind of time, let's narrow this down. For you today, all I want you to do is pick one area of your leadership where you need to set an if-then trigger, something that comes up consistently that you know if you master this, it's going to absolutely change the game. And so if this happens, then I'm going to respond this way. That's the if-then trigger that you're going to set up. Because leaders don't pray for more time. They seize the moment. That's it. Carpe diem is seize the day. Carpe punctum is seize the moment. And that's what you're doing. You are owning the moment. Because when you win the moment, every moment, you don't have to worry about days, weeks, months, or years because you've already won the battle. This isn't about time. It's about hesitation and seizing the moment. And so begin to start to shift your mindset from, hero to zero every 30 days. What do I need to get done today? What do I need to get done this month? What are our goals? And start breaking down your processes into where do you need to execute? Create if-then scenarios where you're going to predetermine the behavior, when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. You're going to predetermine those and set those in. Set up your if-then clauses and go out today. And by being intentional, by winning the moment, I want you to create some leadership fire. And I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.